These are our babies, our children, innocent snatched from their hearts and replaced with anger and aggression from facing the dangers and oppression of inferior living conditions. They are soldiers equipped with the helmet of locked thoughts that have grown impenetrable from neglect and malnourishment. They carry an armor of thick skin and desensitized eyes from growing accustomed to seeing life die. They are holding all black 9mm semi-automatic souls that shoot nothing but hate. Our babies are ready for war, fighting for survival, and if they make it through the trenches of modern day poverty to see the day end, the reward is having the opportunity to do it again tomorrow. They deserve to feel sorrow, but the tear ducts have been so dry for so long that dust appears where moisture should, so the frowns have turned to scowls because it burns to feel. Our babies are being molded into weapons of steel, waking up to piss-stained sheets and roach-infested food, so they build these mental forts so that no one can intrude. They cannot see past the present because the future is a fairy tale. Hearing stories of Santa Claus, the Easter Bunny, Snow White, Cinderella, and living to see 18 have all become make-believe. Our babies are giving up school for what these children have already been left behind and then trampled by a society that yearns for their demise and a government that cares more about the media coverage on how hard they tried to reach these wayward youth, how they did everything they could to perform the exorcism that would rebuke the devil from our babies without considering that maybe living in hell produces a demon or two. Our children have had their white gowns covered with the dirt that the streets poured on them, halos that have slid to the position of a necklace in resemblance to a dog collar, where battle wounds are the degree of a street scholar. The playgrounds are littered with shattered glass and shattered hopes, broken swings and broken dreams. Our babies are confused. We said, love your childhood, and they heard, love your hood, child. Our babies are running wild. They learned by example. Society been against them since birth, and when you never develop self-worth, self-restraint, or self-respect, what else can you expect? Use 5-0 to teach the children violence, then throw them all in one crowded place and give them a little silence before the gunshots erupt. The system is corrupt, but this was not abrupt. This toxic seed was planted decades ago when they subconsciously self-trained themselves to help the hate grow. Now they can't let go to the only thing they've ever had to call their own: rage. And it just gets more potent with age. Our children act animalistic because they are holistically encaged. Play hide and seek with bullets, tag with the police, create artwork from bloodshed. Young Picasso of the streets release frustrations through altercations. If they stay, they get jumped. If they run, they are punk. Our babies are stuck between a rock and a hard place with cement shoes, boulders on their shoulders, and the world warming up next to them asking if they want to race. On your mark, get set, go nowhere, but get there fast, sprint full speed down the wrong path. Our babies are coming in last. We sit here and count our blessings that they won't always be adolescents, that one day this tragedy will end, but broken adults are just older broken kids, glued together with emptiness and sealed with silent screams. Traded our queens for hood rats and for our kings. Who's gonna teach our babies that flaming hot with cheese is not a good meal? Selling your soul for anything is never a good deal. Who's gonna keep it real with our babies when there's no love, just guns, no peace, just streets, no good, just hood, no hope, just dope? How can we expect our babies to cope when the only arts and crafts they know are projects? They get victimized and generalized right before their eyes. The ones who think a stereotype is gonna base up the block. The ones who can't hold a pencil as well as a Glock, this is for them. I took all the love they were ever supposed to be shown, and I pinned it into a lovely little poem. I weaved smiles into my similes and uplifting words into my verbs, and I'm dedicating this right here to the kids who learn the concept of jail before they learn to spell. For the ones who turn to wrong before they learn to right. The ones that feel like death snatched their life in the middle of the night, the lost and forgotten, the downtrodden, the kids who had some kids and didn't care about what they did, so they found solace in the streets and guidance in the ghetto. The ones who held on so tight that they never learned to let go. This is for the babies losing friends on the daily, the black and black crime that held their hands growing up, the public aid and public hate, physical suicide and mental rape. This is for everybody out there that makes this city windy, cold, and empty like the eyes of our kids. This is for our babies that are fighting to live. This is for no one to love and no one to trust. The ones with the godless mentality, hellish reality, weary spirituality, who are masters of mortality. This is for the generation that could have been, but never was. Could have been, but never was. Could have been, but never was. This is for the generation that could have been us. I took this pen and tried to give them a voice. I took this paper and tried to give them a choice, but these are just words. This is just a poem. This is just a stage with a mic and some lights, and they are still out there fighting that fight. They are living that nightmare they simply call life, and that's just them, and this is just me, because sadly I disassociate and never say we is writing a poem. The only assistance I'm given, and is your only contribution, to sit there and listen while our babies end up on drugs, dead, or in prison. These are our children, little sisters and brothers, baby cousins, nephews and nieces. These are the pieces and they are the puzzle. And Chicago is the struggle, cause the government, state, National Guard, and the police just wanna hit delete on that control panel. But the revolution will not be televised, because they don't know the channel. They don't know the them, the me, or the you. They don't know all the ways this environment's uncouth. They don't know the psychological instability that the ghetto can produce, because they don't know the truth and they don't know the roots, and they will never know the constant battle of a Shy City youth.